is the United States now at war with Venezuela?
Cannot continue to have the largest oil reserves in the world under the control of adversaries of the United States.
China is the largest importer of Venezuelan oil.
He effed around, and he found out.
Cue the fire. So I just got an email, and I had to change everything today. You know, when you're like you're going one direction, and then you get an email, and this was like two hours ago. Just landed on the plane. And please don't show, I have some, it has to do with Venezuela and Russia and China and Cuba. It's the whole kit and caboodle. So, 3 months ago, I'm like, hey, we're going to go into Venezuela. We're going to take out Venezuela. We're going to have a war with Venezuela, whatever I was saying from my insider. And then 3 months goes along and you're like, oh, you're wrong again. I'm like, well, this is the intel that I have. And then all of a sudden, Black Swan, overnight, 3 hours, the world just changed. And it's kind of like with trading where you're like, Bitcoin goes up to 130 and then it starts pulling back. And I'm like, I measure it. I'm like, if it breaks this and 3 months ago, right, I'm like, we could be looking at 80. Then it's like over $100,000 and you're like, where's your 80? The same goes for this precious metal stuff, silver. And now it went up today, and everyone's like, that was another, the email before this is you're going to eat crow. Which I will get into silver if I have a moment. I even got in a heated debate in San Francisco last night with family. And it's like, where was everyone over the last 8 years where I'm like, you should buy silver, you should buy silver, you should buy silver. Now that it's at all-time highs, everyone's the genius, and I'm like, okay, now it needs to pull back. No! Here was one email. Eat crow show tonight, Jay Brav. Thanks, Fran. And then the rest of you guys in the comment section, which I like all of them. We are familiar. I think your charts aren't working for silver. Yes, they are. Hi-ho silver. I love you, Bravo, but 35-ish? Okay, I'm just saying. Just don't kill the messenger. I'm just telling you, this is where the chart's saying. I have to have a pullback. I trade every day. You name it. Pokemon cards, baseball cards, but let's talk about what really is happening in Venezuela. And trust me when I say this, the world has changed in 3 hours, completely changed. And Rubio is telling a lot of truth, and he's something else. If you want to know the truth, Trump's actually going after 25 million. Biden raises bounty for Saint Nick. But my question is, does Trump get the 25 million? That'd be cool. And boy, what a difference in presidents, right? Oh, also Democrats, just to let you know, Biden wanted him too. We got him in 3 hours. And the details of this mission, this was crazy. And a lot of Space Force, which I was going to say Star Wars. Close. But these guys flew in, darkness, shut everything off. Like a light switch. They've been tracking Maduro. This is not easy. You got to know where this guy's at. You have to have informants. You have to have people on the ground, even though, no, I know. Rubio, we do not have people on the ground. We go into the Pentagon of Venezuela. This is the most secured, and we get him. Not just that, no one dies, except for Cubans. Now let me ask you this. What are Cubans doing over there? How many? Cuba says 32 Cuban officers were killed. Now, the liberal media won't say officers. They'll be like, they were just vacationing. Which New York Times says, Cuba says 32 of its citizens died in Venezuela. Thanks, New York Times. And no, I'm not paying $1 a week. You just go with Cuba says 32 Cuban fighters. Hey! But again, what you guys doing over there? Well, I will tell you why. It all has to do with communism. It does have to do with oil. It has to do with control. It has to do with drugs. It has to do with military. It's everything. So if you want to pose an argument, okay, you're right. Here in the comments section, the reason why we're going over there is for oil. Yes and no. We don't need the oil. Listen into Marco Polo Rubio. I'm sure you got that in school.
President Trump, read our national security strategy. He is serious about it, and he's going to do something about it, and we're doing something about it.
Let me ask you about oil. The president says the U.S.
Oh, do you notice it said it? He didn't. It was the Western Hemisphere. Very important. We, you and I, America, Canada, everyone underneath us, the Western Hemisphere needs to be secured. This is very important, where it was like, I think Trump was like, we're gonna take Greenland, and it's like, oh well, never mind, we got Venezuela. Why is that? And I will explain in a moment. But go ahead, Marco.
Is taking over the oil. The question is, I guess, if the purpose of the operation was to capture Maduro and bring him to justice, why does the United States need to take over the Venezuelan oil industry?
We don't need to. First of all, let me go back up. We don't need Venezuela's oil. We have plenty of oil in the United States. What we're not going to allow is for the oil industry in Venezuela to be controlled by adversaries of the United States. You have to understand, why does China need their oil? Why does Russia need their oil? Why does Iran need their oil? They're not even in this continent. This is the Western Hemisphere. This is where we live. And we're not going to allow the Western Hemisphere to be a base of operation for adversaries, competitors, and rivals of the United States.
Have specific.
All right, let me pause it there. What we have done is basically toppled everyone. You're like, toppled everyone? What are you talking about? Watch Iran. And what do you think China is going to do with no oil? What would you do? You have no oil. You have no gas. Nothing for your car. 80% comes from Venezuela. You think they're going to go into Taiwan? Probably not. 80 to 90% of their energy comes from Venezuela. Well, not anymore. How about AI? Whoever wins AI wins the world. And the same goes for Iran. 80, 90%. Venezuela. Communism. Thrives when you have energy. They no longer, as of right now, have energy. And now China's like, well, we'll sue you. Or as this article says, China just declared war. No, we've been in World War III. It's just being played out differently. And America, you're winning. Something else that has stopped happening or should stop is, America's going to fall. America's going to fall. This has been going on for decades. It's done for. As of today, no more. And whoever was Trump's planners, whoever orchestrated this chess move, was brilliant. Now it's going to play out in the courts. It's probably unconstitutional, but it's like, okay, here, you can have him back. Also, as you know, I know this stuff. I have connections, but it does not necessarily help me. I actually really like trading and making my digits go up. The Uber guy who just dropped me off, I'll show him towards the end. It was very interesting. He was from Venezuela, and he's a trader. I was like, tell me what? Not with missiles, with lawyers. Quote, Chinese interest in Venezuela will be protected by law. So here we go. Beijing, we're taking this to court. This isn't about the $19 billion in Venezuela loans. It's about 1.3 in Belt and Road. And every dollar that China, blah, blah, blah. Guys, what we're witnessing is like the Monroe Doctrine. We have secured everything. This is our hemisphere this time. But let's listen into Rubio in our new direction.
Take the first steps, and the first steps are securing what's in the national interest of the United States and also beneficial to the people of Venezuela. And those are the things that we're focused on right now. No more drug trafficking, no more Iran Hezbollah presence there, and no more using the oil industry to enrich all our adversaries around the world and not benefiting the people of Venezuela, or frankly, benefiting the United States and the region.
Okay, so I have more breaking news. Gosh, this just keeps going. Trump, Cuba looks like it's ready to fall. It's all gonna fall. I need to backpedal on Greenland.
On Greenland now?
Yeah, on Greenland.
How did we come up to Greenland?
So, do you expect to take an action against Greenland?
Well, I don't want to talk about Greenland. Let's talk about Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine, and we'll worry about Greenland in about 2 months. Let's talk about Greenland in 20 days.
Okay, so I guess we'll talk about Greenland in a few months. But yes, we are trying to secure the hemisphere, and you can do that with energy. Here was my Uber ride. Sorry, I'm like chasing squirrels over here, but we're going to do it quick. Listen to this guy. I just got dropped off. Listen. And tell the in regards to how do the people of Venezuela feel about this? I know liberal media will be like, oh, this is terrible. They want their king back. Yeah, no, you got that in New York. He knows we're actually talking about socialism. He can't believe what you just voted for. He's like, not too smart. Guys, so I'm actually Ubering back home from the airport, and my buddy here, I sit in the front seat because I get car sick. He's from Venezuela, and he's going to give you what he thought. What was your take on what just happened?
Oh, I was very, very happy that night, and I have a problem with my wife for that, because I was very happy. They saw drink until early in the morning for that. So, but that day was great for me.
So, the Venezuelan people are celebrating. Also, did you catch that when he heard the news? In the morning, I celebrated by drinking. My wife is not happy with me. Yeah, I think if I rolled out of bed and guzzled a pitcher of vodka, I have to hand it to him. I do understand being married. Also, listen to this. This was great, because I showed him my channel. I'm like, I got to post this, and he's like, you trade? Then every morning
Trading?
and tell him what do you trade?
Nasdaq.
Okay, and that's your you want that to be your life future, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Tell me what do you think about it? Fun?
It's very fun, risk, and I like yeah, it's amazing.
I love it. Every morning he's like, yeah, I get up, I trade for 15 minutes, I make money. He has another job. He does a little bit of Uber. Told me the reason why he was picking me up was because him and his wife were in an altercation. Just in case she's watching, he loves you. Doing Uber has nothing to do with maybe, getting out of the screaming kid or the screaming wife. Nothing to do with that. Told him he should pick up golf. He says he likes soccer. I said, do both. Also, for my friends out there, the stock market went higher. Silver went higher. Trading account went higher. If you were swing trading silver, you were actually, I'm not kidding you, you're still holding on. This is I'm saying, for some of you that just was like, yeah, I'm going to swing trade this up. You don't close. I only turned on one line. That is the Bravo 9. You do not close until you get below the Bravo 9. You are still holding. On futures, when I came out and I told you this is a topping pattern, this candle right here, this is no bueno. Chances of you getting higher in the next 2 weeks is probably about 15%. This is what's called a bearish engulfing. It's not to say that you still don't. Oh, even on futures, you're still holding on. You hold on to that swing trade, but you should have a pullback. And yes, you had a pullback here, you had a pullback here, but today, eat crow. Okay. Also, if you would like to learn how to swing trade, link in the description. Get my AI course and bear market course for $3.99. That's 2 courses for the price of 1, but if you want my futures course, okay, $1.99. Because you need to learn this stuff rather than, my mom said, or some YouTuber said, watch, I'm going to do a fib retracement for you right here. See? I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull it down to the bottom. And then we're going to see where it tops out. By the looks of it, I think it got pretty close to that 618. Yeah, it's pretty close. That doesn't mean it has to pull back. You still got to, you got a percent that it's like, everyone's like, F it. Silver is basically a meme coin. Well, not in physical property. It's acting like one on the charts. Trust me, I love it that my 25% is still going higher. And if you ever want to know, when I took 75%, do I convert it into dollars? Yes, I do. What do I do with that money? Do I leave it in dollars? No, I buy a property. And in full transparency, I bought a new property in Nevada. And I'm already up, and if you want to email me, I'll show it to you. But I am not lying, $4.1 million. It is now valued $2 million more in 6 months, maybe even less than that. I have talked about it maybe thrice. When I sell something, I still have 25% left, and I go for things that are passive income, because my silver, let me just ask, my silver and gold, here's some of it on the desk. I got truckloads of it. It's sitting here. I'm not seeing, like, oh, look, I just got paid another 20 grand this month. You do have to say, you know what, an extra 2 million, that would be nice. Well, that's because I don't leave it in dollars, because dollars always goes that way. I do things like this. I swing trade. I make money. I make my money make money. If I leave my stocks in there, or if I leave my Bitcoin in there and I don't move it, I want to keep it getting bigger. So that's why I move it. Or I move it in dollars and then I buy things with it like real estate, and then I say, hey, can I have a loan against that? And then I buy more real estate and I put people in it and they pay it down and yada yada. It's passive income. It's just it's an interesting way of thinking. Rather than going to work all day long, 4 months out of the year, right? Taxes. For me, I'm at 38 plus if I was in another state, that'd be 15. California, I'll get into that in a minute. Oh my gosh, San Francisco, you're blowing my mind. That'd be like 52%. That means I have to work half of the year to pay taxes. And what? That would normally should make people upset and like burn the whole thing down. But everyone's like, go to work and here I love silver. So stop. I just make my money, make more money. Please take advantage of learning this stuff. It's a new year. Make digits go up. And with that, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.